Hi, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. But joining me now from our OTC studios in New York City is Ali Athar. He is the Senior Vice President of Finance and Accounting for BW Energy Limited. And Ali, good to see you. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. It's great to be in New York.
Yeah, excited to have you along. Excited to learn a bit more about the company itself. We'll talk about what you're doing in New York in a minute, but maybe just give people a bit of background on the company.
Sure. So BW Energy is a Norwegian-listed upstream oil and gas company, primarily operating out of three regions: Brazil, Gabon, and Namibia. We also are working on a couple of infrastructure projects, one in China and one in Dubai. We produce about 34,000 barrels net of oil per day, and we're targeting significant growth in the next 3 years, targeting to get to about 90,000 barrels of oil per day.
Yeah, talk to me a bit about the expansion plans because I know that area has been worked a lot, but there is still a lot of companies that are working there, and it's in essence it's booming right now. There's a lot of people that want to invest in that particular area.
Absolutely. I mean, it's these days it's drill baby drill. So
Yeah.
I just attended a conference in Cape Town, Africa Energy Week, and you saw the energy there. It was everyone's back to oil and gas, upstream, midstream, downstream. So it's a good place to be. It's a good time to be in the industry. And VW Energy is quite a young company. It's only been in presence. We did our IPO back in 2020. We were formed late 2016, early 2017. We had our first revenue in 2018 with only 3,000 barrels of oil per day. We've grown tenfolds. We're producing 34,000 barrels of oil per day. And the next few years, we're targeting to get to 90,000 through organic growth. And we have increased our production, our asset base, diversified, starting from Gabon into Brazil, in greenfield, brownfield. We're currently drilling an appraisal well in Namibia, the Kudu license. Fingers crossed, we're hoping to see something. Our neighbors, Galp, as well as Total, Rhino, have had huge discoveries. So we are in a great neighborhood over there. And things are working out. Our management is quite optimistic on the portfolio of BW Energy, and we're just chiming through.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the work that's going on. You mentioned that you're drilling obviously in a number of different areas, and you've got Namibia working right now. When you look at, you say growth, are you looking at potentially acquiring more assets that are there, or just working the assets you have right now to increase the output that they have?
Both. I mean, the number that I gave you of 90,000 barrels per day net
Yeah.
is all organic growth.
Mm.
That said, we always are in the market actively looking at an M&A. We recently announced that we're trying to get into Angola. And then there's the Block 14K that we're looking into Azul's non-operated interest. So we're always looking. We don't limit ourselves to any geographic area or any whether operated or non-operated assets.
Ali, I mentioned that you're in the New York studios at the OTC. Obviously, the OTC is an important market for your company and the United States in general. Is that the reason why it's so important to be on the OTC? Is just to have that exposure to all those investors in the United States?
Absolutely. So our primary listing is on the Oslo Bourse,
Yeah.
and that gives us a lot of liquidity. But again, the deepest capital markets is the US capital markets. And this is just our first step into the market. We're trying to see, understand the investors, making sure they get the transparency, the visibility into BW Energy, and just talk to them and share more of our story. So I'm very happy to be here today to share the success story that BW Energy has.
Yeah. And you get a lot of questions from people just about the jurisdictions that you're in and the safety and all that. As you mentioned, there are some major companies that are already working there and successfully working in there. So, or is that sort of old thinking, if you look at it that way?
It is. And we at BW Energy, we I think thrive in these environments.
Yeah.
Brazil, we're not the first one there. Gabon, we're not the first one there. And Angola, if we do get into Angola, we're not going to be the first one there.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. Ellie, thank you so much. Good to catch up with you. Enjoy the rest of your trip to New York, and we look forward to keeping an eye on your story, okay?
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time, Steve.
All right, there's Ellie Anthar. He's the Senior Vice President of Finance and Accounting for BW Energy Limited.